McNeill is a lifer at Prep. He started in pre-K. In the upper school, he has played varsity basketball, football, and track. He's also a member of the student section club. He spent his junior year abroad in Spain. Now, I believe Ms. Crawford has exhausted most of the travel funds, but I'll try my best. I think McNeill really should have titled his speech McNeill's Travels, because he's going to tell you how he travels across Europe swiftly. Jonathan Swift wrote Gulliver's Travels. I thought it was a novel idea. Please welcome McNeill to the podium.
Hi, how's everybody doing today?
Great.
Good. What comes to mind when you think about travel? Is it the place, the people, the culture, and the feeling of being stress-free? I believe that travel around the world shouldn't be hard. It's actually something everyone should be able to do at least once in their lives. Whether you choose to spend a few years or just a couple months traveling this beautiful planet, it's important to see what's out there. It's up to you to make the dream come true and take the first steps. All the challenges and opportunity travel lays at your feet help you discover who you are in a way that's only possible on the road. Nowadays, traveling has become common to all sorts of people, and especially to me in my high school years. I've been fortunate enough to travel to many places and learn many different things about myself and the type of traveler I am. So I would like to ask you the simple question of what type of traveler you are. And to also talk about the different types of travelers and how each and every price point suits different type of people depending on how much they want to gain out of their traveling experience. In my personal opinion, there are really only two types of travelers. The person that likes to integrate themselves into the culture and experience, or the person that likes to relax and let time pass. Both are completely fine. The person that likes to integrate themselves into the culture usually uses their brain more because they're constantly looking around and analyzing different places and people. The person that's more relaxed is usually just enjoying life and living in a stress-free bubble. And this brings me to my next point of travelers, cost. Nobody wants to talk about cost because usually they're the ones spending the money, which nobody likes to do. But I would like to give you all some insight of the different types of travelers depending on how much each one spends per vacation, and in my opinion, which one is the best. The first is the backpackers. Obviously they use a backpack that is easily carried for long distances or long periods of time. Usually they use public transportation, inexpensive lodging such as youth hostels, often a long duration of the trip when compared with conventional vacationists, and often an interest in meeting locals as well as seeing sights. So in general, this type of traveler spends the least amount of money to have an experience that integrates themselves into the culture of wherever they're at. A perfect example of this type of traveler is from a group of guys called Yes Theory that I've been watching on YouTube for the past years, who have been seeking discomfort and saying yes to many strange and fun challenges that are placed in front of them. Because of their low budget, they use the method of backpacking to get around Europe and to seek out insane adventures for the lowest price. In my personal opinion, I tried backpacking and it's one of the most fun experiences that you'll ever have if you're up for the challenge. Now saying this, if you're not up to the challenge of constantly moving, the next best thing is the low price spender. This type of spender is almost exactly like the backpacker, but doesn't move around. This type of person likes to find the cheapest place to stay and places to eat, all while being comfortable or seeking adventure. For example, and for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to use a place that I know fairly well, Barcelona, as a reference. Mainly because Barcelona has pretty much everything to offer, and for beginners is an awesome place to visit because of the amount of history and fun activities in the city. If you get the chance, I would definitely go there. If you were to search Barcelona hostel prices on Google, it gives you a ton of results ranging from 26 euros to 100 euros. And obviously the 100 euros have key features about them that raise the price. For example, the location. If you stay in a hostel that is close to the ocean, it will be more expensive. Hostels are extremely affordable for a vacation in Europe if you're the type of person that wants to integrate themselves in the culture of a city, because most of the time you'll be staying in a room, unless you're jet lagged, like me, all the time. And this brings me to the next person, the medium price spender, which is me. This is definitely the most common among tourists because simply nobody wants to pay a ton of money for some room at a hotel, but at the same time, they don't want to have a room with a bunch of strangers like a hostel. This price range would go from 100 euros to about 350 euros. After that, you're getting pretty expensive per night, which fits perfectly with the high-priced luxury spender. Now, personally, I would not recommend this type of traveler because if you are spending well above 500 euros per night, I would be using that hotel room every day to relax because that is what you paid for. That is why usually the people staying in these really nice hotels are not there to be tourists. They're there to sit by the pool and relax. Now, it's obvious that you can relax if you're any type of spender, but when you pay more, the comfort level increases. That is why I would recommend either try backpacking for the fun of it or being the medium price spender because simply you're paying a moderate price for a room so you can be a tourist, but you are also capable of relaxing if you want to. With me saying that though, there are some exceptions to all this, which is my favorite, and I happen to do this most of the time when I travel. I just use Airbnb. Literally, this is a traveler's best friend. If you don't know what it is, well, here you go. Airbnb is a privately held global company headquartered in San Francisco that operates an online marketplace and hospitality service, which is accessible via its websites and mobile apps. Members can use this service to arrange or offer lodging, primarily homestays or tourism experiences. I have personally used this platform throughout my whole time living in Europe, and it never disappointed me once. It makes life easy and affordable for every type of person. If you search long enough and have a specific price point and features that you would like to have, it shows results and you just choose. The best part is that you might be able to get a full apartment with a bedroom and kitchen for lower prices than hotels offer for just a bedroom. This makes Airbnb simple and cheap depending on the type of traveler you are. Now granted, I've only talked about places to stay so far, but in the next little section I want to talk about the actual price of exploring around Europe and on average what a tourist spends in Europe per day. First off, getting in Europe is going to cost a lot of money. The average is about $2,000 to go back and forth. No flight across the Atlantic Ocean is cheap, so really the heavy hitter on your wallet or purse is getting over there. But once you have arrived in Europe, it's actually fairly easy to travel around because Europe's public transportation and train system are extremely effective of getting you places that you want to go for a cheap price. For example, something I used to travel around Europe was Go Euro. This is another online company that allows you to book trains, buses, and flights for extremely low prices depending on when you book. So if I were to book a train from Saragossa, where I live, to Barcelona early that week, it would cost a lot less amount of money than if I were to book it in the morning of the train departure. So it rewards people that are prepared and have planned out their trip. The next is simply what a tourist spends per day in Europe. A study by Savvy Backpacker says, quote, most tourists spend around 45 to 70 euros on everything outside of lodging. So food, tours, shopping, and transportation, end quote. Now this can add up, but again, it depends on the travel. Because if you want to explore, you're probably going to be spending more money on tours and transportation to get to each and every attraction that you want to see. But if not, really the only cost you have to worry about is getting to and from Europe and paying for lodging and eating, of course. All the other money is spent completely dependent on what you want. So in summary, there are many helpful online tools that can help you depending on what type of traveler you are and to find the cheapest and most fun experience in your life. If you can't find anything, start from scratch and find out what you want out of your travel experience. What type of spender you are, and go out, plan, and have the time of your life. And to my seniors, if there isn't a broad experience in your college and you want to mix things up a bit, go. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I implore you to step out of your comfort zone and seek discomfort, because in those moments you learn the most about yourself and have tons of fun in the process.